fake milk because I'm vegan. Meow, Huples cat. I'm cooking dinner tonight. You're more than welcome to join me. How's that for a view? Wolfie chef to Wolfie mother, Wolfie chef to not Wolfie mother, come in.
I'm here.
Oh, so you can hear me, I can hear you very well. Alright, I'll call you in a bit. So out here, cell phones don't work that well. There are patches around here where I can actually get a signal, but mostly you can't get anything. So I've been using these off and on just for short distance. They work fine. And I'm really starting to seriously think about a satellite beacon if I go off grid more than I'm going. Because I think it's kind of important for my body to be found. So generally when I'm camping, I take my own tinder, but I can collect it easy enough even in depth of winter, and I have done that. My fire starting hand sanitizer, and I take my BioLite kettle pot and stove. Excellent piece of kit. But Apocabox sent me a rocket stove, a mini rocket stove, so I thought I'd use it. Because I've been kind of thinking about something like that for the car for a while. Generally I use dehydrated food when I'm hiking or camping, and I probably would do the same for bugging in or bugging out. So I consider it prepping failure if I'm away from home and the nuclear war starts, but I might have to bug in place for 2 weeks before I come home because of radiation. Or I'll be able to cook hot food during a bad snowstorm I was caught out in. Of course, from the prepping point of view, neither of those things should ever happen to you. So a propane stove, although it's terrible for the environment, would be a good idea. I want to use dehydrated food because that's what I'm going to do, but to boil water, that would be an absolute bonus for me if I had to bug in place for 2 weeks. So I'm going to try for me something different. Got my Apocabox spice kit. I'm going to cook this. It's not dehydrated, it's Tim Hortons. It is vegan and it's Mediterranean lentils. And hasn't expired, sorry about that, and that's what's in it. Good stuff. The 250 mils is approximately 110 calories, so this is approximately 225 calories. Not a lot of food. But I'm going to add this to it. If you're prepping on a budget, this kind of stuff's really good. They last forever. This entire package is only 390 calories. So if I'm having half of this and Kitty's having half of this, what I'm actually going to be getting is probably round about 400 calories. Not a huge amount of food. For one person, it's kind of okay. Make sure you do the calorie counts. Make sure you know what's in your food. Make sure it's convenient. Heavy. Full of liquid though. So in go the lentils, in goes the rice, and you're just going to stir it. I'm going to heat it slowly and gently for about 3 or 4 minutes till it's boiling and the rice seems edible. I'll give Kitty a shout. Scraping out everything from all your food packets is absolutely essential in grid down. You can't waste anything. It doesn't matter what you're doing, whether you're stuck in a snowstorm and you're eating up the supplies you got in your car, or you're trapped in a basement waiting for the nuclear fallout to drop enough to go home, or you're at home and you're trying to survive for a couple of years before you can grow anything. Waste isn't great. And low calorie diet's what we're all going to be faced with long term. It's amusing to me that people will say things like, well, you need 2,000 calories a day. Probably around 3,000 to 4,000 calories if you're chopping and moving wood. The truth is you're going to be starving most of the time. You're not going to get adequate calories in SHTF. It's just not going to happen. You may as well accept that and adjust now and figure it out. Certainly I'm carrying a bit of extra fat, so I should be okay for a week or two. What's going on with the pot? Usually I bring a fire retardant glove camping when I'm using an open flame. I forgot to do that. I will add one to the car kit. I'm basically going to just keep this in the car once I get used to it and I can use it, because I really like camping with the BioLite. This is lighter. Now for those of you who haven't seen this yet, this also came from a Apocabox and I filled it with a few things I want to carry, and it's pretty straightforward for me. Sugar, very rarely use it, but I wanted to carry it for porridge. Fake milk, because I'm vegan, and some salt. Kitty will want the salt, she always has salt, I won't. I think you lot should listen to the lake for a while. this is ready. And I'm also going to do some coffee for her because we both like coffee. Wolfie chef to Wolfie mother, Wolfie chef to Wolfie mother coming over. Dinner is served.
On my way.
10:04. So the efficiency is impressive. It's quick, it's easy. I do like my BioLite stove because I can just use found pieces of wood. And we're getting mosquitoes quite early on in April, but it's been extremely hot, and that's something you need to think about. If you are doing prepping for specific types of objective, for whatever reason, civil war, nuclear war, economic collapse, EMP, really consider the effects of climate, human-caused climate change in your preps, what's going to happen to your preps. If yellow fever comes back to the southern states of the United States, polio comes back, you have to start thinking about those kind of issues in a society failure. When I knew I was going to the system, I bought this, and I had a spare one of these, so I thought I could use the coffee mug. This is far too small. This is half a litre, 16 ounces. The big one is more than twice the capacity. That's the minimum size I would take for this kind of thing. This is too small. It's a Sasquatch coming for its dinner. Well, that was a success. Slightly burnt, not bad. Definitely something I'm going to consider later on. Kitty's got her coffee, and I'm going to check mine. Boiling, ready to go. This can be turned off. This can be removed. Taken off. Coffee added. That's it for me and Kitty in the bug-infested forest. We enjoyed our coffee and we enjoyed our meal, and we're going to watch. What are we watching tonight?
The Whale or Better Call Saul?
The Whale. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Toodles. Woo! This has been a Tiny Terry production 2023.